Hey guys, thanks for tuning in again. Jan here from Functional Body Unit. Today's topic is shoulder mobility. A lot of people send us some messages with the question, where to start when I want to improve my shoulder mobility. I don't know which exercise is the best for improving my health and mobility, and therefore we made up this video to give you some starting points and to give you the most important stuff to know first when you start training your shoulder mobility.
So first we have to differentiate between warming up for a training session and mobility training. So mobility training is not your warm-up, it's not an activation, it's a separate training when done correctly. So what we often see is, or what is really common is just stretching out the pecs, going into like shoulder flexion, stretching out this part here. Gosh, this feels really good, and we just want to relieve this tightness that we feel. But that's not what is going to give us long-term health and success. This is a short-term relief technique, if there is any relief at all, basically. But mobility training, and what we're going to show you today, is what will set you up for long-term success and long-term shoulder health and mobility. So let's get started with shoulder internal rotation, because that is really what makes the shoulder healthy, and then that's the most important thing that you want to work on, and then everything else you can add that up to achieve even more shoulder health and mobility. But this is where we want to get started.
So, we are here on the ground. Leslie is demonstrating you the internal rotation pails and rails for a shoulder. And as she already mentioned, internal rotation is the most fundamental and important stuff when it comes to the shoulder. And therefore we show you the shoulder internal rotation pails and rails, as it is a fundamental and basic start for mobility training. As we improve...
And for movement.
And for movement, yes. As we improve our shoulder internal rotation, we automatically improve our shoulder flexion. Why? Because we increase the workspace in our capsule, in our shoulder, and therefore we simultaneously improve shoulder flexion, so linear stuff, even though we don't even train a shoulder flexion specifically or address mobility exercises specifically.
Yeah, it's not only shoulder flexion, it's all other ranges of motion for the shoulder.
So, yeah, you should be hyped because internal rotation is the most...
the magic pill.
Is the magic pill for your shoulder. Let's start with the exercises. We're here in a side-lying position, and Leslie's head is on the yoga block, so her neck is not down on the ground, and it's very uncomfortable, so that's only there for. And we try to find a stretch deep in our shoulder capsule. So we try to have a 90-degree elbow angle here in the elbow, and try to press with the other hand the hand down. Make sure the shoulder is staying on the ground the whole time. So if Leslie's pressing down all the way down, my hand can slide under the shoulder. That's not what we want. Shoulder should stay on the ground, and with more lean, we can make sure the shoulder stays on the ground, but we also have more shoulder adduction. So if you now ask yourself, is it bad to really lay open like that and do shoulder pails and rails, or lie closed? It's just an additional shoulder adduction, but it's not bad or worse if you do that. But the compensation of the shoulder lifting off is more likely when you are open, right? So you stretch and the shoulder lifts more likely. Okay, so therefore we are here in this side-lying position. Yeah, another good way to prevent the shoulder from coming up is this setup. You press down the hand with your elbow and push, or give your shoulder a little push here, and it's also a good setup here. You should feel now the deep stretching sensation in your capsule, and hold that for 2 minutes. In best case, even longer, because the central nervous system adapts only to long-lasting stretches. Everything under 2 minutes is most likely too little to give the right signs to your central nervous system that it can adapt. Also, keep in mind this is only passive, but we need the passive range of motion first to be able to work actively in these new acquired ranges of motion. Okay. So after 2 minutes, let's assume 2 minutes are over, we now go for an isometric, a paled contraction. So we try to ramp up and give 30% of your force with the hand up in the elbow in this case. Okay, so push your hand up in the elbow with 30%, 40, 50. Ramp up slowly until you reach your maximum effort. This can be at 70% because you feel a pinching or pain starts to rise, and you cannot go to 100%, that's okay, but try to go as high as you can. So if you're at your 100% maximum effort, take a deep breath and push as hard as you can into the elbow or into your hand for 15 seconds. Give it your everything, make sure the shoulder is not popping up here. After the pails, immediately start the rails, trying to actively engage all the tissue down here to push your hand down to the ground. Make sure not push with your elbow, your hand down even further, only with your own force. I know this is impossible, but these are isometrics, so this should be hard. 15 seconds of rails here again, then relax, try to sink deeper into the stretch, and in best case, repeat it once again for the optimal stimulus. So that's everything we wanted to show you and give you to start your shoulder mobility journey. Internal rotation is the way to go because it's the most fundamental and most important stuff for the shoulder, and the shoulder internal rotation pails and rails are the most basic and fundamental stuff that you can do to improve your mobility and keep a healthy and mobile shoulder, or start building it. So if you enjoyed this quick and simple video about shoulder mobility, then check out our website for more mobility information. And also we have something special for you. This took us so long and we put so much effort in it. It's our hip mobility online coaching group. We start at the 1st of September. Registrations are open from the 23rd of August. And if you want to know more about this hip mobility coaching group, because only 10 students, and because we only take 10 students, then click the link down in the description below and check this out. Other than that,
subscribe to our channel and leave us a thumbs up.
And have a great day. Thanks.